Bam. As you can see, the pond kind of has been retired, and there was a lot of wood rot and termites, and I live in Houston, so it doesn't help that it feels like there's a hurricane every week, so all that water kind of destroyed the wood. But I got all the fish out safely. They're all in a holding tank now, and I'm making this video to show y'all their new home. This pond lasted me about 4 years, and it was pretty good. I feel like I could have prolonged the life a little more if I would have maybe weatherproofed the wood properly and just maintained it better, because honestly I kind of neglected it. You know how it is, life gets in the way sometimes. But I'm gonna be making my next pond right here. Alright, so here's what I got so far. I've marked it with you could use a rope, string, water hose, whatever. Just mark it to give yourself an idea before you start digging. And then I laid out the liner over here just so it can flatten up. And you want to make sure that you don't want to dig it too big or too wide and too deep, because you have to take into account the size of the liner. If you get a big enough liner, then make it as big as you want. But just remember, don't forget the sides, the walls of the pond. And next thing you do is just start digging. Alright, after about 2 hours digging, this is what I've got so far. You can kind of see the layout. Over here is where the waterfall is going to be. That's why I stacked most of the dirt over here. And as you can see, I kind of dug around and just laid the dirt all around the perimeter of the pond. And you'll see why I'm doing that later. But it's getting kind of dark out and the mosquitoes are crazy right now, so I'll get back to y'all in the morning. This is where I'm at now. I pretty much am done digging. And guys, if you have friends that can help you out with the digging part, by all means get them to help you, because it's the hardest part. And just make sure to buy them lunch or something. But yeah, I did this all by myself, and this is what I did. I kind of left like a little ridge around the pond with the dirt, and I did that so it would be a little higher than the ground around the pond. So like I said, I'm in Houston, so it rains here a lot, so I don't want too much runoff water going into the pond and dirtying it up. So I left a little lip around, and I'm gonna make it a little smaller, but just make sure to have a little lip. I mean, you don't have to, but this is just what I'm doing, just so the water doesn't come in. And I'm gonna make it a little smaller so I could wrap the liner around it or on top of it. And then after I'm done with that, making the lip, I'm gonna get the water hose and just spray down the dirt and just kind of pat it down to make it hard, so it doesn't, to make sure it doesn't sink too much. And then I'm gonna put the liner on, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so here we go. You can see the lip I put around it. That's raised a little bit above the surrounding perimeter. And now I kind of packed it in already with my foot like this all around. But now I'm gonna start spraying just so we can pack it a little bit tighter and let it sit for a while. And the rest of the dirt, you can see I kind of just raked it all out to kind of level the lawn out a little bit around the pond. And yeah, that's all I'm doing right now, is just making sure all the dirt is packed down tight. And then I'm gonna start on the waterfall, shaping the waterfall, and then laying down the underlayment and the liner. So the pond is just about ready now for the liner. What I did was, you kind of just use your hands and pat down the dirt, make sure it's pretty hard. Mostly I did it around the perimeter and the walls and the bottom. I mean, I'm not a professional or anything, but I just figured that when you add the water, it'll eventually flatten itself out, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, the next time I pick up the camera will be when the liner is in. and I'll probably be working on the piping and then starting to add water. So here it is, guys. The liner's in and it fits overall pretty well. I pulled most of the excess liner to this side so that when I stack the rocks onto the waterfall, it'll be set and done with, and it'll probably be there until I want to rebuild the pond again. But I left the excess over here just in case I want to expand that way, or if I want to make it deeper, so I could pull the excess down this way and just leave the waterfall, let it be. But yeah, I put the liner in, I put the pump in. That's probably where I'm gonna put it, and I might stack some rocks on top of it just to kind of hide it a little bit, but for now I'm not worried about that. And yeah, now it's just time to add water, and I'm not gonna add the whole thing. I'm not gonna fill it all the way up. I'm just gonna fill it up to where it mostly covers the bottom so I can pull out the slack. Now that there's water on the bottom of the pond and starting to fill up, it gives it a little weight, so now you can start pulling on the liner and getting all the kinks out. Now obviously the pond shape is irregular, so you can't get all the creases out, but just work with it and just get it as best as you can. And I mean, I'm leaving mine for now. I'm leaving it just bare, just the liner. But obviously if you add rocks to it and pebbles all in there, then you won't even notice the liner because it's gonna be underneath it. So I mean, just, it's up to you. That's why ponds are so brilliant, because it's all customizable. Just do it how you like it. It doesn't matter what the other guys say or what other people say. Just do it how you like. And yeah, I was thinking about adding a skimmer over here, just opposite, because you most likely, the best spot is opposite of the waterfall, so when the water is flowing, that way all the debris will catch into the skimmer and then circulate. But I mean, it's kind of a small pond. Honestly, it's bigger than what I was planning, but yeah, just I can always add it later. That's why I left some extra liner on this side, so if I want to, I can add a skimmer on this side. But for now, I'm gonna just roll with it and see how it goes. So I filled it up about halfway, and I'm gonna leave it there for now. I just wanted to see if the liner, everything is good and it fits. Make sure the liner is pulled and everything is good. But yeah, this video is getting a little long, so I'm gonna split it up into pieces. So if you want to see what happens next, just subscribe, give me a like, and I'll see you in the next one.